It seems that everything is working on that channel. And good morning, my Zoom friends, my Zoom family, I would say. How lovely of you to wake up early and join me. I have oddly been up since 3. Went to bed early and woke up crisp and clear at 3 o'clock. Quite weird. I think I'll have to nap later. Yeah, what's going on here? Mute. There we go. So, good morning. I'm Robert Beatty. I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon. Actually, Beaverton, Oregon. This is a broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community, a thriving, even in the midst of COVID, collection of human beings who are interested in taking responsibility for their lives through meditation. And if you're new to this community, you can check us out at portlandinsight.org. There's a ton of really fine, useful information there. Also, my website, robertbeatty.com, has some very useful stuff. In particular, there's some wonderful audio-visual collaborations I've done with people that are there on the front page to enjoy and to benefit from. So I have a short poem this morning. It's by Kim Stafford. Kim Stafford, the son of Bill or William Stafford. He himself is a fine artist and poet, Kim. He shared this at the Winterfest. There's a concert every winter with local, really old-timers of the local music scene, folk music scene. And it's a concert to benefit the homeless. Anyway, he shared this very powerful poem. It's useful in our time. It's called Champion the Enemy's Need. Ask about your enemy's wounds and scars. Seek his hidden cause for trouble. Feed your enemy's children. Learn their word for home. Repair their well. Learn their sorrow's history. Trace their lineage of the good. Ask them for a song. Make tea. Break bread. Ask about your enemy's wounds and scars. Seek her hidden cause for trouble. Feed your enemy's children. Learn their word for home. Repair their well. Learn their sorrow's history. Trace their lineage of the good. Ask them for a song. Make tea. Break bread. Ooh, I'm gonna hit that. Huh. That's frustrating, isn't it? It is for me. Come on now. Posts. Publish resources. I never spend really enough time on Facebook to become proficient with it. More. Oh, it's working. Well, I hope it continues. So, in a world where things are pretty topsy-turvy, even at the best of times, they're pretty topsy-turvy, and now they've gone mad. In what shall we take refuge? Where shall we lean? Where shall we hang our hat? Thank you, Heather. No need to. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. And now we get to sit. How lovely. There. Let's begin with a few moments of gratitude. You probably slept in a warm bed last night. You were healthy enough to get up and come and join us. There's electricity this morning, so the connection over the internet can happen. The heart is pumping. Our loved ones are probably as safe as human beings can be. And we have the Dharma. We have this beautiful teaching. This path that picks us up wherever we are, however we are, whoever we are. And this mystery of consciousness is present. Awareness. And it's awareness that we can somehow mysteriously direct. So let's direct it to the pressure of the body, the buttocks, the pressure where the body presses against the chair. Notice the aliveness in what we think of, what you think of as your hands. The aliveness in your face. Notice your position in the room, your distance from the walls and the ceiling, the space around you. Everywhere you attend in your body, there's life. And in the midst of all this, there's the breathing. Allow awareness to abide, to rest, to climb into the breath as it might a hammock. Of course, there will probably be some wandering mind, maybe some worry, maybe some obsession. Maybe waves of wanting something, desire, or wanting something not, aversion. Come home, whenever you can, to the actual sensations of breathing in and breathing out. Rest in the breath. Notice thoughts as thoughts. If there is an emotional coloring to the mind, maybe a mood, notice that. Each breath has a beginning, a rising to fullness, a decline and a disappearance, just like every other experience. Remembering that attitude toward oneself and life. I aspire to love and accept myself exactly as I am in this moment. Which means that whatever arises, whatever thoughts, whatever memories, whatever mood, whatever sensations in the body, pleasant and unpleasant, we make room for. If there is discomfort or pain in the body, notice it as it is. Notice any disliking, any resistance. Come back to the breath. If it persists, after a few times of noticing it and coming back to the breath, quite intentionally put aside the breath. Turn awareness into the discomfort or pain. I aspire to love myself and my experience exactly as it is in this moment. Can you make room in your heart for pain? How close, how intimate can you be with pain? You may discover that there's holding of other muscles around pain. There's often a story around pain. Oh no, this is going to last forever, or oh, it's this again, and now I can't meditate. But there's another way, which is, oh yes, it's this. It's this, and it's unpleasant. Maybe really unpleasant. And somehow I can bear it. I can attend to it with love. And when you can, coming home to breathing. Coming home to that presence. That consciousness in which everything occurs. and observing the quality of mind that's present. Is this a mind that's at ease? Or is it somehow troubled? Is it calm and quiet and resting easily in the breath, or is it restless? Is it a mind that's wide awake, or is it tending towards sloth and torpor, dullness? Is it a mind of faith and ease, or is there doubt? Doubt in yourself, doubt in the practice. Is it a mind that's content, or does it want something? And notice how different this is from the question, do you want something, or do you dislike something? We are making of the mind and the body an object of observation. And for stability, we can use the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Aware of the actual sensations. Again and again, awareness awakens. In the midst of a wandering mind, in the midst of a journey into the past, out of a slumber-like state, and remembering now that longing every being has to be safe, to be loved. Feel it in yourself. See if that's what's motivating you to meditate. There's some longing, a call from within. Acknowledge that need in yourself. We say things like, I really long to be happy. May I be happy. May I be free from identification with fear, jealousy, anger, hatred. Hold yourself sweetly in compassion. Think of some of the challenges that you're facing in your life right now. Think of maybe one or two. And if there's any sense of self-pity or it shouldn't be happening like this, notice that. And then reflect that perhaps these challenges are exactly what you need right now to set you free from all kinds of suffering, to set you free from attachment to things being a particular way. So we turn toward our suffering with really a lot of love and compassion and mindfulness. This present moment, this present period in life is exactly like this. It couldn't be any different. It is as it is. So thinking a kind thought for yourself, perhaps the great mantra, I love you. I love you. With your name at the end. With every breath in, fill yourself with the kindest of wishes and longings. And on an out-breath, think of someone that you love. Wish them well too. It can be as simple as on the in-breath, may I be really happy. On the out-breath, may my beloved person also be happy, free from fear and danger. Wish them well. And extend the outgoing wish now to someone else. Maybe a friend. Maybe a neutral person. Maybe someone you think of as them, the enemy, the other. Whoever it is that so successfully carries our shadow. And we could, of course, stay with loving kindness, compassion for ourselves for weeks or months, or for the beloved for weeks or months, for a friend, for a neutral person, for the quote enemy for weeks or months. And we head in the direction of may all beings everywhere share in the merits of our practice. Beings of the air, the trees, the earth, the waters. May the beluga whales in the Gulf of St. Lawrence be happy, safe, protected. May the marmots in Canadian Rockies be safe and protected. Think of your favorite animals. The great elephants, the great whales. All my relations. All of our family. And so in this way we rest back into our interbeing with all of life. And please now let's come to the eyes. Feel your eyes, know your eyes. And then with this same willingness to be a transmitter of loving kindness and compassion, let your eyes open, prepared to notice, if you're in gallery view, a lovely gallery of beautiful people. People who come together around an extraordinary aspiration to wake up and be kind. Pick one of these people and wish her, him, they well, them well. Sense your interbeing with them. Well, friends, thanks for coming to share my computer screen with me, my heart with me. I have a couple of announcements. One which I will do like this, I hope. Mary Stankavage, wonderful teacher from Los Angeles, is going to be doing a day-long retreat, Saturday, October the 24th. That's soon. And is there a picture of Mary on here? Yeah, there she is. Mary is she's just a very solid, real person. And every time she's come twice, I think, to teach live at PIMC, and she's just down to earth and very clear and really understands the Dharma very deeply. So that's coming. And then I wanted to remind, part of my responsibility here, to take didn't work. That's not what I wanted. Why does it do this? New share, let me try this. Okay, try that. It's juggling. Well, it's not going to do it, so I don't need to do that. It's the invitation to participate in a generous fashion with PIMC. That if you go to the home page and go up to the right corner, there's a sign for donate. And it's your support that makes this happen. So please consider becoming a monthly contributor. And next, maybe tomorrow, I'll have it, the feedback of how we did very well on our 2 months of really encouraging folks to become monthly donors. I think it's over 50 people joined up. I want to get those statistics for you. So, Jim, anything else I'm forgetting that's important? Friday night, Kate Staples teaching, and there's something every night of the week except Saturday.
It won't be this Sunday, but the third Sunday is Candle's next session.
Right. Okay, well, how are you? Have you something you'd like to share? Any response to our conversation yesterday? Got pretty lively. Any questions? There's these giant cats. They're 3 times the size of the people. How can you live with those things? At any second they could, oh, that's different. All right. Ooh.
Good morning, this is Francine.
Hello, Francine.
in the pink room. Robert, you mentioned this morning the shadow self. Could you speak to that for a bit?
Ah. Hmm. My operating model of humanness is a synthesis of Buddhism and Jungian psychology, Carl Jung's depth psychology. And when we come in as babies, we don't have any ego at all. We're just this mass of needs. We don't even know our toes are ours. And there's a big discovery. It's like, oh, I can control these. And so over time, we develop, hopefully, a functional ego. And one of the things the ego learns to do is something that comes in around age 5. It's called the repression barrier. And it means that the powerful emotions and the upwellings from inside, we learn to put a lid on. And that way we can function in society, because we don't go to, most of us, we don't go to tantrums all the time. So one of the things that happens as we develop is that there are parts of ourselves which are not acceptable. Let's say, in my case, anger was not acceptable in my personality. And I became a very, 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 very nice boy. And I was quite angry, but I didn't even know it into my early 20s. Everyone around me knew it, but I had repressed it into my shadow. And so there was a lot of work that I had to do over a long time. I continue to have a difficult relationship with anger. And it's gotten much better, but that we can have things pressed down into the shadow but one way to find out what's in the shadow is whoever we think of as them, the evil doer, the evil empire, whatever it is that we have that strong reaction to, that's probably in our shadow. We're projecting it. Instead of acknowledging, oh, I have that in here, and that person is really manifesting that, and now I can have compassion for them. Instead, we reject them. And so we can have very positive things in the shadow too. The whole repression of women being intelligent. That whole historical thing, that it wasn't so okay for women to be intelligent. So that it was pushed down, and so then as it happens as a culture and as individuals, we discover, wait a minute, I'm plenty intelligent, and also compassion and love and joy can all be pushed down out of sight, so we don't know they're in us. And the work then is of encountering them and embracing them. Is that making sense theoretically?
If I can reiterate what I think I heard, is the thing that we find repulsive, traits or habits or styles, is perhaps a reflection of that shadow self.
A way, I'm remembering a workshop on the shadow I did years ago with the Jungian, and the first thing he had us do was to take about 20 minutes and write about someone that we really disliked and describe them. And then we spent the next 2 days examining, is this perhaps in here? Do I have these traits that I find so despicable in the other person? And it was very revealing. I mean, and we do it as a nation. We talk about the evil, it used to be the evil empire, or the Chinese are like this. And, well, Or the other side is creating all this fake news. Well, we're creating fake news. It's a projection of the that which we don't want to know is in ourselves.
Is that the dualism notion?
I think dualism is a different. Dualism is the subject-object relationship. I wouldn't think of dualism in that context, in the shadow context. It is a dualistic concept.
Thank you. Well, there's something to examine.
What's that?
I said there's something to examine then.
Yeah. Sometimes stuff comes out of the shadow that's very surprising and shocking. And a long time ago, I met a man who came on a retreat, and he was so unhappy. He had almost no sensation in his body. It was very strange. And he discovered, it was a month-long retreat, he discovered a week or so into the retreat that repressed in his shadow was joy. And he became joy. It was astounding to watch him. He was a bundle of joy for days and days. That it had been pushed out. It wasn't allowed in his family, and he discovered, wait, this is part of me. He'd sit there in meditation. It was quite lovely to watch. And of course, then it gets complicated. But yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. A pleasure. Many of us have self-hatred in the shadow. We think it's normal. It is pretty normative in our culture, but when we start to meditate, then it begins to emerge and we discover, wait, there's this thing in there that's not me. It's habit. It's something that was trained. And then as we can bring it into consciousness, then we don't need to be driven by it all the time. We don't need to be so affected by it. Uh-oh. I hear the garbage truck. I think I may miss it. This would be the second week.
Robert, this is Patrick.
Hello, Patrick.
Hello there. I was thinking about the shadow self. I have a question. During the meditation, you asked, what does your mind want? What do you want? I was thinking, what does my mind want? My mind wants control. It wants order. And then I was thinking about the shadow self, and I thought, well, because in my family there was a lot of chaos, and so I was being the firstborn, and the responsible one was always angling for order and control. And so now I see this manifest in my own children, which I like, but I'm sorry for them at the same time. And is it would the shadow self be like, what do I want? Well, I would like to be, free and easy on a beach drinking a Corona, but my mind is just like, no, you got to get to work. So is that an example of the shadow self? Just this, it's been repressed, and now I need to be more open to it from my shadow self.
I don't know. I'm a little confused, actually. Can you try again?
Is the shadow self isn't necessarily a positive or negative trait. It is simply what the is it what the being wants? Is it what you want, not your mind?
Well, you and the mind, we're getting into creating entities here. I think of the shadow as a phenomenon that parts of yourself that you've repressed and you don't know about, that then can come in and affect our decisions and our perceptions. I'm not feeling very clear right now, actually. But let's not make it into an entity, myself versus another part of myself. We start getting into very muddy waters there. Maybe we should come back to it.
Okay.
You willing? Thanks. Anybody else? Oops. I'll think a little bit about the shadow between now and tomorrow and come back to it. Quiet this morning. Hello, Jilly. It's fun when I see my far northern folks show up from the Yukon.
Robert, it's Pamela.
Hello, Pamela. There you are.
I just have a little news to bring up and say that it's going to have an impact. I am going on a road trip, just me and my dog. We're going to drive down to Texas and see family and friends and my old stomping ground. And haven't quite figured out the route yet, but that's what I've been doing yesterday. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to a new adventure and trying to figure out how to keep myself safe in terms of COVID and that adds an extra layer of complication, but I am just really looking forward to it. There may be times when I am unable to join in the group because the times will change, and I may not always have Wi-Fi, but I plan on meditating with you whether I'm able to connect with you or not.
Lovely.
So I'm leaving. I think I'm leaving Friday morning. It was just decided yesterday, and I'm scurrying around to get ready.
Have a lovely trip.
Thank you.
Mindful driving, remember. Seeing, hearing, sitting, touching. Seeing, hearing, sitting, touching.
Good idea. Thank you.
Have a great time.
Thanks. Looking forward to it. I've never done a road trip by myself, so this will be really fun.
Having the Dharma, you'll discover it's a really different thing. Yeah. I mean, if you went for an hour every now and then, turn off the radio and just do seeing, hearing. Very interesting practice. It's a little shocking though. You discover you've gone 20 miles down the freeway and you weren't there for any of it. That's the robot drives well.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yes, thank goodness. Anybody else?
Hi, Robert. It's Dave.
Hello, David.
You triggered a memory for me. I was driving back from one of the retreats up in Nelson, and I was doing the driving thing, and all of a sudden, rather than me steering the car, the road was steering under me. It was like I was stationary and the world was coming at me.
Ah, headless.
It scared the crap out of me. I decided maybe I should have gone a little too far down that road, but it was an interesting experience.
It's actually a marvelous way to drive, to be aware that what there is that which knows, and everything is coming into that. That is always stationary, and sounds and words, and that's Richard Lang teaches that headless way, and that's one of the ways he really emphasizes to drive. I have about a 4-mile straight stretch here on my way to work, and or I used to, and I often, not every time, but often would drive and just soften and be aware of everything rushing into me. It was quite something. So wonderful.
It felt like a video game.
Maybe it is. Yeah. The life of a meditator gets more and more interesting. Less and less boredom. As the meditation teacher says to the bored student on retreat, "You're bored? Pay attention, boredom's really interesting." Well, last call. Anybody have something you'd like to share?
Hi, Robert.
Whoa, is that Jill?
Yep.
Hi, Jill.
I just wanted to say what a treat it is to be back online in these morning sessions.
Oh,
I've been
great.
absent for the last few months with so much busyness and awayness, and it just fills me with a big smile.
Well,
Seeing
I'm
you
glad.
in the morning and being part of the Sangha, and I'm looking forward to these late fall, winter months ahead to tune in, and you are such a beautiful touchstone.
We will go on with what I like to think of as monotonous regularity.
Yeah. What a gift you give
Thank you,
in your
Jill.
beautiful self.
Thank you, Jilly. All right. Shall we go out on a song? Participants, I don't know that I can unmute everybody. That's funny. There used to be a control. Let me see. Does it here? Mute participant, ask all to unmute. If you want to make your voice part of this wonderful melodious thing we're about to do, please unmute yourself. Ready? May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Sadhu. 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 Goodbye. Have a lovely day. How exquisite.
Thank you, Robert.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Alicia, this little house is so cool and warm and delicious. It's just great. Thank you, everybody.
Making it a home, Robert.
Huh?
It's become a home.
It's become a home. And my stand-up desk is here, so that my hip, that's such a problem, now you see me moving. I'm actually standing as I do this. And I can also do magic tricks. Watch this. I can grow taller. I can get very tall. Ah, ah. Or I can
There's
very.
no end of fun in that little house.
Look at that. I'm getting shorter. Ah, I'm disappearing. Ah. How high does it? Oh, look at that. That's. Oh, that wasn't good. It knocked over my light. Ah, well, this is what you get for playing. Just
Have
keep.
fun
Bye bye, everybody.
Enjoy the
in
day.
the playhouse.
Thanks for coming. Goodbye, dear friends on Facebook and YouTube.